yesterday you announced Symbian 3. Could you just highlight the difference between Symbian 1 and Symbian 3?
Okay, so I think you can sort of summarize it as Symbian 3 is simpler, it's faster, and generally more functional than Symbian 1. Additional functionality we added. Of course, the other thing about Symbian 3 is it's the first truly open source Symbian version coming out of the Symbian platform. So just in terms of the high-level highlights, so from the UI there's quite a lot of simplification there, so things like single tap, multi-touch is there. You've got the new graphics architecture, so OpenGLES is in Symbian 3, gives us improved transition effects, things like transparencies. Additionally, behind the scenes of that, you've got improved networking, so both in terms of the new networking architecture, the freeway architecture for connecting to various types of Wi-Fi and 3G and everything else, and there are some UI improvements around that as well, so one-touch connectivity. Additional to that, there are some sort of more obvious changes for the end user of Symbian 3. So the home screen has changed. Home screen is now multiple home screens on your front page, which you can move using the touch screen. And one innovative feature in there is that you can use the same widget, different instances of the same widget. So, for example, if you've got more than one email you want to keep track of on your home screen, you can put 2 email widgets there. Or if you've got different cities you want to track the weather of, you can put different weather icons, different weather widgets there. So adding more functionality to the home screen. You've also got HDMI, so you can use your phone. You don't need a Blu-ray player to play HD movies on your TV. You can plug your HDMI or wireless data flash to HDMI to your Symbian phone and use that for HD movies.
So you mentioned multi-touch. So where is it implemented? Is it in the browser, in the photo?
It's in various places. So we're not entirely feature complete on Symbian 3 yet. So it's not entirely finished. But things like photos for certain areas, things like pinch to zoom, and it's in various places around the UI.
So when is Symbian 3 totally finished? So when can we expect the first Symbian 3 devices?
So we expect to be feature complete by the end of Q1, so end of March, 6 weeks or so time, and then normally you start seeing the phones coming out 4 to 8 weeks after feature complete. So hopefully during Q2 we'll start to see phones coming out.
And did you skip Symbian 2?
Yeah, so Symbian 2 existed, but yes, in terms of prioritization,
So will there be also a Symbian 4, Symbian 5?
Yeah, absolutely. So Symbian 4 is coming. I should mention Qt. So Qt is in Symbian 3 as a toolkit, and so developers can start putting their applications across onto Qt and Symbian 3. Of course, the big story in Symbian 4 is going to be the user experience and a fully implemented Qt with a new user interface. So Qt will bring all of that in Symbian 4, which should be feature complete sometime in the second half of this year.
Okay, I have to mention the iPhone and Android. So many people complain about Symbian that it's too old. Would you say compared to the iPhone and Android?
Well, I don't think it's a problem that it's old. I think that's a benefit. So Symbian's been around for 10 years or so. There's plenty of other software that's been around for 10 years or so that is current. I mean, it's unfair to say that Symbian was written 10 years ago and hasn't changed since then. There's been an enormous amount of development, R&D effort going into Symbian every year and every month, every week since that time. I think the opening of the platform in early February this year was a new beginning for Symbian, certainly, and going forward, the open source development, so moving more open source in terms of the development of packages. Symbian has a history, but it's still underlying has the best technology of any open OS.
And will it change from Symbian to Symbian Foundation? What are the key changes?
So Symbian Foundation is an entirely separate business to what Symbian was before. So Symbian Limited, we'll call it, was for 10 years, from 98 to 2008, a proprietary software company that licensed an open core OS on a royalty basis to customers like Nokia, Samsung, and OEMs around the world. What happened in 2008 was that Nokia, which was always a shareholder in Symbian Limited, purchased the remaining shares off Sony Ericsson, Samsung, Panasonic, Siemens, Nokia then added its own Series 60 UI and also elements of the other UI brands that sat on top of the Symbian OS, so UIQ and MoAPS from Japan, to create the Symbian platform. So this is a full software all the way from the kernel of the software all the way up to the UI. So it integrated the whole thing together, give it a better integration, and then contributed that into the Symbian Foundation. And now, as we said, since February, that's been fully open source with the Eclipse Port license. So that's the biggest, in terms of business, a big change. Practically, the Symbian Foundation is an entirely separate company to what was Symbian Limited. So Symbian Foundation actually acquired the trademark Symbian off Nokia after Nokia had purchased it from the other shareholders of Symbian Limited.
You mentioned open source. Could you just explain what you mean? What is the benefit of open source?
So open source means the source code. So software all is written in source code, which is then compiled into binaries that can run on hardware. What open source means is that we publish publicly, so free for anyone to go and look at on www.symbian.org or developer.symbian.org. You can go in there, you can click on code, and you can go and actually look at the code if you want to. It's published under the Eclipse public license, so it's free to anyone to take and use. You can put it into a device, you can sell it because the Eclipse public license is a commercial friendly license. The benefits are many. So a couple of things you get, for example, because it's open source, if you have a phone that uses Symbian OS or Symbian platform and you spot a bug in it, as a user or as a member of Symbian Foundation or a company, you can report that bug and you can propose a bug fix. If you can go and look at the code and propose a fix. So for the platform as a whole, because you have so many more people who are able to look at the bugs, look at the source code and find the root of the bugs, you can reduce the maintenance burden of the overall platform. In addition, because the source code is available for anyone to look at, if anyone who's got an innovation that they want to build or a new technology they want to build on the Symbian platform, they can go and look at the guts of the system and make sure that they can build their innovation really intrinsically linked with the underlying platform. So it's a much more innovative way of developing software.
Do you know how many developers are working with Symbian?
I don't have a number off the top of my head, but I know it's a large number.
Okay.
So it's tens of thousands.